Hello, and welcome to another episode of Intune.training, the place to learn how to use Microsoft Intune. The Steve and Adam Show. Hey, I'm Adam.
Hey, I'm Steve.
Hey, Steve. Here we are again.
Yeah, Adam. Having a lot of fun with this, recording these episodes today, so we figured we'd go for two.
Yeah,
And,
might as well get some more in the can. Give us a day off here somewhere to take our wives out on dates or something. Maybe they might like that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. So what we're here to talk about today is kiosks.
What are we going to talk about?
Yeah,
kiosks.
I was just thinking that kiosks.
Yes.
Talking about going out on dates, we need kiosks to get food and all of that.
Yeah. So I know I threw you with that one. Yeah. So this actually, I don't have the person's name off of the comments, but I know that recently we actually got a comment on one of our videos that asked about how do we do kiosks, or maybe it was something on Twitter or something. So if it was you, this is for you. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to say your name. Anyway. So thank you for requesting it. We realize there's a need for that. I know in our company we use kiosks for multiple things. We've been doing that for a long time and have custom group policies, and it's quite the hassle to get it configured and set up. And we're going to show you how to do it in Intune, and it is slick. It is super quick and easy. We may not actually show it working because, as you've probably seen in some of our other videos, the time to get the policies down on the new machine may take a little bit, so we don't want to have a bunch of dead air. With that, we will at least attempt, and if it doesn't work on the first go, we're gonna just I'm committing now. We're gonna stop,
yes,
even though it's so hard to just quit. But so we'll give it a shot.
Cool.
But we will at least walk you through all the bits and pieces required to set up a kiosk in Intune.
That's right.
All right.
So what we're going to do now here is we're going to go to portal.azure. Obviously, this is where we're always living, and we're going to grab the Intune portal, and from there we're going to go to the device configuration. And from a profile point of view, we're going to create a new profile. We're going to create two profiles here, so this is a little bit of a change of a script for Adam, but we're going to call it a Win10 Kiosk Single App. Note we've got a nice simple naming convention there. We're putting in a description. We don't really need it, but there's no problem there. And then the platform we're selecting is Windows 10 and later. And then the configuration type, we're going to scroll down, surprise, to kiosk.
What? It has its own category.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
So now we're selecting the drop down for kiosk mode, and you'll see that there's two scenarios there. There's a single app full screen kiosk, and there's multi-app kiosk. So the cool one is, well, the one we're going to use now is the single app full screen kiosk. And what that's going to give us is the ability to sit there and auto sign into a device and then have it start an application. So the logon type that we're going to select here is going to be auto log on Windows 10. So that is going to go and load just a service account, and it will run, and you'll see an interactive session, but you won't be able to do anything with it. If you need a local user account, you can create it as a local user account. I haven't tested whether this will give you access to websites and things like that, but theoretically it should, but you just need to confirm that in your environment. So always test in your environment. And then the next step that we're looking at is the Microsoft Edge browser. So you'll note there's only three options for the application type, one being the Edge browser, one being Kiosk browser, so that's where you've brought in your own browser technology or a cut down version of a browser, or you can add a Microsoft Store for Business application, and this is where you could go and grab Power BI or something like that and have that as your application.
Oh, I like that, because then you could have it load a Power BI dashboard for you from Power BI Desktop.
That's correct.
Or you could also load PowerBI.com and take it to a dashboard through the web portal through a browser. So let me ask you, put you on the spot, because I always do. Microsoft Edge browser.
Yes.
Is this the old Edge or the new Edge? Is this the one that just got released?
New Edge.
Ooh.
If you've deployed Edge stable, it will be the new Edge.
All right. We'll test that theory out.
So you'll now see that there's the Microsoft Edge browser. You can hit the arrow to go to the right, and it'll
Because
give
it
us,
said one available setting, so
that's
we
right.
know that there's a thing there.
And what we have here is two options, being digital interactive signage or public browser in private. So the difference is the digital interactive signage is literally a web page that nobody's going to interact with. There's no keyboard, there's no touchscreen, there's no anything like that. Whereas a public browser is where you've got somebody consuming that website or web service.
So this is a perfect example of a. I mean, we've talked about it before in looking at the. We've talked about the medical industry where
Yes.
you've got a device that you give to a user to say sign up, do all of your sign up here on this tablet that we've got in the office, or so same kind of scenario here. You've got a computer sitting at a desk or a tablet or something running
Yep.
Windows. You hand it to the user, and it's using a public. It's using a browser going to their that company's web page, but it's running in private mode, so it's not going to retain any of that user's information whenever you restart the session on that browser. So so that's at least one of the scenarios where this would be handy.
Exactly.
So, and if you're looking at kiosks, you probably understand all the applications for doing kiosks, but
Yep.
hey, talking through it,
So
and you can learn about more here.
yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it back to digital signage. And the important thing to note there is, look, there's additional settings you can go and set under the device configuration, device restriction, Microsoft Edge browser, as well as, because it's not listed there, but because it's the new version of Microsoft Edge, you can also leverage the ADMX backed policies and set your own configurations there, because it's just group policy. And then the last one is really important, and you should always, always, always specify a maintenance window for a device. So you just set it as of today. We're going to do it at 1 a.m. as an example. I'm a little bit superstitious around using 12 a.m. because I don't know.
Everything defaults to 12 a.m.
Yeah, but is that 12 a.m. midnight or 12 a.m. midday?
Well, AM is midnight.
Is it?
I mean, it is.
Well, no. Technically, 12 p.m. would be
11:59 a.m., 12 p.m. That's the transition there.
But you see why it can add that little bit of confusion. So that's why.
Maybe for you, Steve. The rest of the world has this one down. But hey, whatever.
Hey.
No, I agree. There are a lot of things that default to 12 a.m. So I think it's a good practice. Like we should just do like 101. Like you should pick your own like time to start your maintenance windows, so that anytime you go through, you can find all the instances where you configured this versus someone else.
That's right.
Actually, I know a guy who completely random. He types in his username with mixed case.
Yes.
So that if someone else ever uses his account, he will know, because he always does it a specific way, and most things would not know that, and so he can tell when he's looking at logs. Except if you've watched him type it in at any time, you've probably guessed it, and you could. Anyway, totally different thing. All right. So we're hitting OK now. I did actually also pop open the link to the Edge policy there, but we're having that same thing we did yesterday, so we'll end up drilling into it. So never mind.
Cool.
Okay.
So that's it. That's the single app kiosk mode setup for Windows 10. That is how simple it is.
All right. So then we're hitting create, and we will assign that in a minute.
Yep.
And then we can go back in. You said we're going to do a second one?
We're going to do a second one, so we're going to create a profile.
Okay.
And Win10 underscore kiosk multi. Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And again,
but what's funny is, so you say the description is not required here, but how many of these things have had a required description? So you get in the habit of typing this description.
Win32 apps is the only thing that has the requirement for description.
All right.
Oh, sorry, applications in general. So now we're going to select multi-app kiosk, and it'll take a little bit when we hit select no, because we don't want S mode, or even though we could. and it allows us, so if we just hit the full screen button up the top next to the X there in the actual middle blade,
Okay.
it should re-render with it all nice and neat. That's okay. Don't refresh because you'll lose your profile. So if we select the user type logon, you'll see that we have additional options here. So previously it was only auto logon and local user account, but we can also add Azure AD user account or user or group and a HoloLens visitor, just because everybody has their HoloLens linked in, right? So what we're going to select here is the Azure AD user or group.
Now, tell me what's the difference between the auto login and the Azure AD user?
That's a good question. Auto login, you don't get to specify the account that you're signing in with, whereas Azure AD or group allows you to specify the user. So now if we hit add, and we're just going to grab, and I can't remember the account that we're going to use.
Producer.
Yes, there we go. And we select that and we hit select. Happy days. Then the next part that you see down the bottom is where we have the ability to add applications. So we're going to hit the add Microsoft Edge, and it'll come up with the same thing, and we're going to say it's going to be normal mode. You'll note that we don't have the ability to do digital signage here. It's just either normal or in private only. So click OK.
And that's because in this instance, we know we need to have multiple apps, which means we need to be able to interact with the device, and that digital signage mode does not allow you to interact with the device, and so therefore you need to have a different mode. Okay, makes sense. So we would auto launch it?
Yep, but right now it's auto, by default it's set to auto launch, I think, if you check that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Yep.
Just check it for us if you can, Adam. No, there you go. So it changes it. So right now it's not. If we hit yes, it'll auto launch. Yeah. And then the tile size is where we have it in the start screen. So we can control how that start screen looks. And then from there we can add additional applications, be it from the store, be it from Win32 apps. But the last one you see there is the AUMID field. And this is where you build your own application. You're publishing it as a Win32 app, and then you need to provide a UID of what that application looks like. And there's a good example there where they're using Microsoft.Windows calculator _ blah blah blah. So it's a matter of then going and creating your own for your app and getting it working. But we're not going to demo that because we don't have
those.
Yes, we haven't.
But we do have a store app, so maybe we could
add
grab something from the store. Let's see what we've got here.
Company portal is my guess.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've already got that installed. So let's Power BI desktop, because that'll only take like an hour to install.
Exactly. And then we can also go and configure that. Oh, it's configured, so there's no settings. So what we'll do, Adam, is if we turn off the auto launch, and then we're going to hit the alternate start layout. So if you hit the yes on that, what that means is you can then specify what your start menu layout looks like. We're going to leave it as no, but we're just showing that setting's there.
I gotcha.
And then we can go and build out if you're going to see the taskbar. By default it's hidden, but we can turn that on so you can then go and select it. Otherwise it looks like it's in tablet mode by default. You can block access to download, as you can see, and then the last setting, most important, we need to sit there and make sure we have that maintenance mode. If we don't have a maintenance mode, we're not doing anything on that computer when we're supposed to be. So that's it. Then we click OK, and it's that same process all the way through. So it's pretty straightforward, as you can see. What we'll do for our demonstration of an assignment, Adam, is we're going to select just the single app one because it's more visual.
Okay. And I've got 2 machines that we can. So we don't have a group for this one machine to deploy to.
That's where we can deploy it to all devices because we can.
Yes, we can. Back. Yes.
So we're going to do the multi-app one here first, which is okay. Now we'll go to our VM.
That's what you were telling me, and I wasn't paying it. Sorry, you need to say use other words.
Hit the dot
sorry,
dot
hold
at
on.
the end of the
This
name.
one, remove. That's what I was trying to do.
Hit save
okay,
at the top.
Save. All right.
And
sorry,
now we'll go
back out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And assignments. And we select the group, and we'll just do the Intune underscore baseline. Devices.
We've been doing the license, right?
Yep, that's license.
No, that's a user group, isn't it? The baseline.
Okay.
Where'd it go?
Did we misspell it?
Oh, it's no. Okay. Wow. So it has to start with the word that you type. It's not a wildcard. Neat.
Yep.
Learning things every day.
Yes. So we hit save, and just hit evaluate for us, Adam, just to make sure we've got devices in there. Yep, 3 devices, perfect. So now if we go to our test device.
Actually, we can probably just sync it from remotely, right?
We can indeed, if we know the computer name.
I don't really want to log in.
Well,
I mean, maybe we can.
You'll need to eventually log in.
Won't it auto log in for me?
Yeah, but you'll need to restart it for the policy to apply. So if you go to devices, and I believe it's a 06 LAD.
I think you're right. All right, let's click that guy.
And we go
sync.
And then what we're going to do on the left-hand side is go to device configuration. And we're just going to see if it's applied or knows about it. So it's still thinking, and this will take a little bit of time through. So this is where it's just the standard process of applying a policy as you would normally see going through on any device.
Yep.
So
we're going to give it just 1 second to see if it comes up, and then we will punt like we said we would.
Right.
All right, so I'm logging into, actually, yeah, so if we check back here, we can see if it has gotten to it yet, and it has not. So we've got manually logged in over here, company portal. Got 2 of them going. Let's see which one wins. I don't know which one is which, honestly.
Well, we need to add that device to the group because it will help.
Well, I've got...
it's not in the group. So what's the name of the second one?
Well, it's one of these 2.
S01E26. Because it's the top 2.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. So I've just added those to the group.
Oh, well, that would be nice to do that, yeah. Okay, let's try that again. So they weren't in the
no, they
baseline
weren't in the
group?
Win10 baseline group.
Oh, I see. See, good things. All right, let's resync them again. Give them a moment. I like click and sync.
Yes,
you know, if you can tell. It just makes me. It feels like something's going on. You know.
It's right. Nice. Well, that's what it's there for.
I know it's not. It's like the elevator door close button. Everybody knows that doesn't actually work, but it's there to just make you feel good.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, come on! Never seen it work. Oh, anytime it ever works, it was coincidental. Come on!
It's like a pedestrian crossing button.
Yeah, none of it works. It's on a cycle. If you just wait long enough, it'll show up. You just got lucky. Yeah. All right. Well,
as we said, look, our tenant's located in Australia. Adam's located not in Australia, so therefore it takes. Sometimes we have timing sync issues. Yeah.
But if you watched our Edge video, look, we have Edge on the machines now. So so there's that. And look, that would even open to the right place now.
Yep.
This one didn't, but that one did. It's fantastic. All right. Well, so that's it. We will. We're done. So we have now set up a kiosk policies for the machines, and It's as easy as that. I mean, we didn't have to go through. Now, okay, if you're trying to launch a custom app or something like that, well, that's where it gets more complex. You're going to
That's
have to
right.
go and create a Win32 app and build all that stuff out, and but that's just part of the process. It's different. It's different than it would have been before. I mean, sorry,
Yep.
it's different than what you were doing, but you had to do this work anyway. And so, this is one of those situations where it's like, all right, yeah, we can learn a new thing to do it. I'm
That's
trying
right.
to get here to ask you this question. So we've got a Win32 app,
Yes.
and there's that MUI. What was the AM?
Yes,
AU?
and that's not captured in here.
Oh, so you have to
Um,
go and get that
yeah.
some other.
It's
Okay.
going down to getting information off a file on the client side, and building out the string itself. So it's a little bit more involved than I'd be going through in a video like this, unfortunately.
I got you.
Um,
But in this instance, if we had a custom application
Yep.
that we had imported as a Win32 app, that we had gotten working, and we knew that we could deploy to our machines, this would be a good candidate for being able to launch on a
Definitely.
kiosk device. Is that correct?
Yep. So what we'll do, Adam, just to explain it to the punters at home, is if we go to device configuration, and then we're going to go to profiles, and we're going to select our multi-app policy, and we're going to go to properties, and then we go to configuration settings, and then down the bottom hit add Win32 app, because you need to do it here as well. So then if we click on the learn how to locate AUMID button, and this goes to the docs page that explains the process of it and how to get that information, so you can then feed it back into what you need. It's not the most simplest process, but it will work for you eventually, is what I would say.
Okay, and so the difference here is, I mean, so we're adding a Win32 versus AMUID or AUMID. So what's the difference here?
The difference is you're pointing to an executable or not. So if you hit add by AUMID, it's just the actual ID of the application. Whereas if you go to add Win32 app, you have to put the executable path.
Okay, interesting.
And then you have to put a this is what the file should look like string, which is what the AUMID is. So think of it as a hash for the actual application to go, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Okay. So then on the add store app, this is these are Windows 10 apps. This is not.
Yeah, that's the easiest place for you to get that information.
These would have been synced. Okay, so I guess the thing I was getting to was that this is not a Win32 app that we've already imported into our tenant.
No.
That we show under client app. So if we put Microsoft Maths over there, we'd still have to put it here as well.
That's correct. And you'd have to go through and specify all of the configuration that's associated to it.
Okay. Well, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. We have done the thing.
Yes, we have. So let's quickly see if those devices have come through, Adam. So if we go to one of those devices and see if it's auto signs in when we restart it.
Oh, look, we have a lot more stuff on the device configuration, so that's good. We check this other one because I don't know which one it is. So we'll try it. Yes, they both should have it. So
let's just give it a restart.
This guy here.
In theory, this all should work, but let's see.
We never know. This one's still syncing, so it's getting a lot more things. But then again, I clicked it like 80 times. So
yes.
Yeah. So it has been assigned to the machine, but it hasn't actually processed all of it. That's what I was suspecting was happening here. Okay, this one went a lot longer, so I think it's going to have a fair amount more stuff. In fact, I think it had already locked down the start menu there when I clicked restart. It was already scaled down, I believe.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Here we go. Before the next video, I'm going to rename my test machines so that I know what they're called. Hey!
There's our kiosk.
Steve, we need to make our next video is going to be just a celebration video that we had a successful demo all in one go. So stay tuned. Except that one probably will fail somehow too.
Exactly.
So we'll spill champagne all over our keyboards or something.
We could like that.
Yeah. Come on, everybody! Like, if you've ever watched reality TV, you know that people like the drama. If it was just boring people doing things successfully, that no one would watch it.
Exactly.
Or maybe you would. I don't know. All right, so we've at least auto logged in,
and that's gone to a website. But because we didn't define what the default homepage was,
you're right.
It's done this.
We are dead in the water. Awesome. Yep. We have effectively killed this machine.
Go
so
team. So
if you have an end user who you don't like, you can you figured out how to lock their machine.
Don't do that.
No? Okay.
We are not going to endorse people doing naughty things to other people.
Okay. Fair enough.
But look, we've been very successful to our word. We always fail our demos, and it wasn't successful.
Well, it was absolutely successful. We just didn't assign a page for it to go to. It did what we told it to do.
Exactly.
All right. Nice.
So I think that really covers off the setting up a kiosk and multi-user or multi-app compared to single app. And yeah, it's. I think you'll be able to use do some really cool stuff with this. And yeah, I think let's just wrap it up. And so I'm Steve Hosking. You can catch me on Twitter at OnPremCloudGuy.
And I'm Adam Gross, and my handle is AdamGrossTX on Twitter. Well, this is great, Steve. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Stay tuned, subscribe, all those things.
Down there,
and
all of that stuff.
Yeah. Give us feedback, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks
for watching. See ya.
Bye.